The conduct leading to Buddhahood. The chapter on an elephant. The perfection of ethics. First, the conduct of one who provided for his mother. Once I lived in the forest, as an elephant who provided for his mother. At that time, no one on earth could equal my virtues. Seeing me in the forest, a forester informed the king about me. Great king, an elephant that befits you is dwelling in the forest grove. No need to dig a moat around him, nor tether him to a post in a pit. Taken by the trunk, he will come here by himself. When he heard these words, the king, elated, sent an elephant tamer, a well-trained and expert tutor. When the elephant tamer reached there, he saw me in a lotus pond, pulling out lotus roots to feed my mother. Discerning my moral virtue, he checked me for marks, saying, "Come, child." He took me by the trunk. What was at that time? The natural strength of my body would equal 1,000 of the elephants of today. If I had been upset with those who came to capture me, I would have had the power to defeat even a kingdom of men. Nevertheless, for the sake of guarding my ethics and fulfilling my perfection of ethics, I did not let my mind change, even as they caged me, and even were they to beat me with hatchets and lances, I would never become upset for fear of violating my ethics. The conduct leading to Buddhahood. The chapter on an elephant. The perfection of ethics. Second, the dragon Bhūridatta's conduct. Then again when I was Bhūridatta, a dragon of great psychic power. The text does not specify what kind of creature he was, thus relying on the fuller details of Jah 543. Together with Virappaka, the great king, I went to a heavenly realm. There I saw gods, wholly given over to pleasure. For the sake of going to that heaven, I undertook the observance of ethics. After tending to me physical needs and eating enough to get by, I resolved on the 4 factors and lay down atop a termite mound, thinking, my outer skin and inner flesh, sinews and bones. Whoever has use for these, they are already given, please take them. While lying there, the ingrate Alinattu grabbed me. He threw me in a basket and made me perform in places all over. The text conflates a divine naga with a cobra in a way we don't really find in the suttas. Though thrown in a basket and crushed by his hands, I did not get upset with Alinattu for fear of breaking my ethics. To give up my own life was as light as a blade of grass. To transgress my ethical principles was like overturning the earth. In 100 successive lives, I would give up my own life. I would not even violate my ethics. For the sake of the 4 continents, for the sake of protecting ethics, and fulfilling my perfection of ethics, I did not let my mind change, even when thrown in a basket. The conduct leading to Buddhahood. The chapter on an elephant. The perfection of ethics. Third, the dragon Campayaka's conduct. Then again when I was Campayaka, a dragon of great psychic power, the titular deity of the people of Campa. I was just furnished with precepts and vows. Then the snake charmer who caught me lived righteously, observing the Sabbath, and he made me perform at the royal gate. Whatever color he thought of, blue, yellow, or red, I conformed to his wish. Taking the appearance of his thought, I could turn dry land to water, and water to dry land. If I were upset with him, I could reduce him to ash in an instant. If I was under the sway of my thoughts, I would have fallen from my ethics. But one who has fallen from their ethics does not succeed at the highest goal. Gladly, let this body be broken. Let it be scattered in this very place. Not even for that would I break my ethics, if it were being scattered like hay. The conduct leading to Buddhahood. The chapter on an elephant. The perfection of ethics. Fourth, Culabodhi's conduct. Then again when I was the very virtuous Culabodhi, seeing rebirth as fearful, I renounced worldly life. She who had been my partner, a Brahmin lady with golden skin, expecting nothing in the cycle of rebirths, also renounced worldly life. Without clinging, cutting off family. Expecting nothing from a family or group, we walked from village to town until we reached Varanasi. There we lived alert, mixing not with a family or group. Quiet and undisturbed, we both stayed in the royal park. Visiting the park, the king saw the Brahmin lady. He approached me and asked, "Is she your wife? Or whose is she?" When he said this to him, I said the following: "She is not my wife. We share the same teaching and belief." Infatuated with her, he had his men seize her, compelling her by force. He brought her to the royal compound. She who became mine by touching a water jar, born together one in beliefs. When he dragged her away, I felt so angry. Together with the arising of anger, I remembered my precepts and vows, and right there control my anger. I did not allow it to grow. If anyone were to attack that Brahmin lady with a sharp knife, not even for that would I violate my ethics, because it was solely for awakening. I did not dislike the Brahmin lady, nor did I lack the strength, but because omniscience is precious to me. That's why I guarded my ethics. The conduct leading to Buddhahood. The chapter on an elephant. The perfection of ethics. Fifth, the Buffalo King's conduct. Then again when I was a buffalo who roamed the forest, large in body and strong, big and scary to see, in a cave, a craggy hillside, at a tree root or a water hole, there be somewhere for buffaloes. In one place or another, wandering the mighty forest, I saw a fine spot. Having gone there, I stood and lay to rest. Then a monkey came along, wicked, ignoble, and nimble. On my shoulder, forehead, and eyebrows, he peed and pooed. Not just that day, but a second, a third, and a fourth. He soiled me all the time. He was harassing me. Seeing me being harassed, a spirit said to me, "Kill that vile, wicked thing with your horns and hooves." When he spoke, I said this to that spirit: "Why would you smear me with a wicked, ignoble carcass?" If I were upset with him, I would degrade myself, violating my ethics, and being criticized by sensible people. Better to die from purity than live in shame. How could I, for the sake of life, harm another? Thinking of me, this one will do the same to others, and for that they will kill him. Then I shall be free, forgiving disrespect. From the low, middle, and high, the wise one gains their heart's desire. The conduct leading to Buddhahood. The chapter on an elephant. The perfection of ethics. Sixth, Ruru the deer king's conduct. Then again when I was the king of deer named Ruru. In appearance I was like burnished gold, focused on the highest ethics. There was a pleasant, delightful region, free of humans, so I went there and stayed, on a lovely bank of the Ganges. Then a man upstream, harassed by creditors, fell into the Ganges, thinking, "I live or I die," day and night in the Ganges. He was swept along the stream, crying out pitifully along the middle of the Ganges. When I heard the sound of his pitiful crying, I stood on the Ganges bank and asked, "What man are you?" When asked, he explained to me his own deed. I was so scared of my creditors, I jumped in the great river, taking pity on him, surrendering my own life. I entered and dragged him out in the darkness of the night. When I knew he had recovered, I said to him, "I ask of you one favor. Tell no one about me." But once he had returned to the city, for the sake of money, he told when asked. Taking the king, he drew close to me. All that I had done was related to the king. When the king heard this, he fitted his arrow, thinking, "Right here I shall kill this ignoble betrayer of a friend." I protected him, substituting myself. "Let him be, great king. I shall carry out your pleasure." I guarded my ethics, not my life, for then I was ethical, because it was solely for awakening. The conduct leading to Buddhahood. The chapter on an elephant. The perfection of ethics. Seventh, Mātanga's conduct. Then again when I was a matted hair ascetic of severe penance. Mātanga was my name. I was virtuous and serene. A Brahmin and I both lived on a bank of the Ganges. I stayed upstream, the Brahmin downstream. Wandering along the riverbank, he saw my hermitage upstream. Then he abused and cursed me, that my head would split in seven if I were upset with him, and if I were not taking care of my ethics. Then just with a glance, I could have reduced him to ashes. But when he cursed me then, so angry and bitter-hearted, it fell right back on his own head. I freed him from that yoke. This again requires knowledge of the Jataka, Ja 497. The commentary says he placed a lump of clay on the wicked Brahmin's head, which bore the brunt of the curse. I guarded my ethics, not my life, for then I was ethical, because it was solely for awakening. The conduct leading to Buddhahood. The chapter on an elephant. The perfection of ethics. 8th. The deity Dhamma's conduct. Then again, when I was of great retinue and psychic power, a great spirit named Dhamma, I had sympathy for the whole world, establishing the populace in the 10 ways of skillful deeds. I wandered from village to town with friends and associates. A wicked, miserly spirit, promoting the 10 wicked ways, was also wandering the earth with friends and associates, the righteous and unrighteous. We were each other's foe, slamming chariot shafts. We collided together. A dreadful quarrel ensued between the good and the ill. A great war loomed, aiming to push the other off the road. According to the Jataka, the conflict took place in the sky, Ja 457. If I had been upset with him, if I had broken my asceticism, I could have reduced him to dust, together with his companions. Nevertheless, for the sake of guarding my ethics, I quelled my mind. I left the road with my folk, giving it to the wicked one. As soon as I left the path, and I had quelled my mind, the earth opened up for that wicked spirit. The conduct leading to Buddhahood. The chapter on an elephant. The perfection of ethics. 8th. The deity Dhamma's conduct. Then again, when I was of great retinue and psychic power, a great spirit named Dhamma, I had sympathy for the whole world, establishing the populace in the 10 ways of skillful deeds. I wandered from village to town with friends and associates. A wicked, miserly spirit, promoting the 10 wicked ways, was also wandering the earth with friends and associates, the righteous and unrighteous. We were each other's foe, slamming chariot shafts. We collided together. A dreadful quarrel ensued between the good and the ill. A great war loomed, aiming to push the other off the road. According to the Jataka, the conflict took place in the sky, Ja 457. If I had been upset with him, if I had broken my asceticism, I could have reduced him to dust, together with his companions. Nevertheless, for the sake of guarding my ethics, I quelled my mind. I left the road with my folk, giving it to the wicked one. As soon as I left the path, and I had quelled my mind, the earth opened up for that wicked spirit. The conduct leading to Buddhahood. The chapter on an elephant. The perfection of ethics. 10th. Sankhapāla's conduct. Then again, when I was Sankhapāla, a dragon of great psychic power, deadly fanged, lethally venomous, two-tongued, lord of serpents. At a crossroad on a highway, crowded with many people, I resolved on the 4 factors and made my home there. My outer skin and inner flesh, sinews and bones. Whoever has use for these, they're already given, please take them. Seeing me, the Bhojans, people from the country of Bhoja in the Vindhya range. In Sanskrit texts, they are renowned for cruelty, being devotees of Durga. Those violent and pitiless hunters came to me there, with sticks and hammers in their hands. At Bhūridatta 4:2.1.16, a muggara is used to beat dyed cloth, having pierced my nose, tail, and spine, and fastened me to a pole. The Bhojans carried me away, the earth from sea to sea, with its forests and mountains. Had I wished right there, I could have burned it up with a blast from my nose. Though pierced with stakes, and stab with knives. I did not get upset with the Bojans. This is my perfection of ethics.